your body on the kitchen table and move the dishes to the side.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't met before, my name is Shiv. Hello, if you're coming back then welcome. In today's video I have this super natural everyday makeup look. Obviously, ha ha ha, I am joking. I have filmed this makeup look for you right here, as you can tell from the title, the thumbnail. I'm using the Mmmmitchell Feet on the Ground palette right here, and I've created this super bold makeup look using the palette, which I will get into the video. So if you would like to see kind of like my thoughts, opinions, feelings, emotions towards this palette and collection, then please carry on watching. Before you do, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're alerted when I upload a new video. Follow me on my social media pages. I'm shivonmakeupbiz on everything: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. I'd love you to come and check me out on those platforms. So yeah, let's just carry on into the video. So first of all, I just kind of want to touch on the fact that I'm just like amazed and super happy with how far like the beauty industry has come. Like, I've reviewed Nikki Tutorial's palette now, I've reviewed Beth Painter and Sample Beauty's collection palette even, and I reviewed quite a few like collaboration palettes, and I always kind of say in those videos that just the fact that we are able to kind of learn ourselves, educate others, like just be in this huge community and then eventually like bring out our own collections is just absolutely incredible. And I feel like Mmmmitchell is really someone who has like taken the beauty community by absolute storm and inspired so many people to be super creative and just wacky with their makeup, which I love. And I've always been a massive advocate for encouraging people to wear colour. Even if you go back through my channel, I mean, I've been on YouTube now since 2011, on and off for probably 5-6 years, and then properly now for like 2 or 3 years, and all since my time in any tutorial, whether it was my super cringy ones back when I used to film on like an old school camcorder, to now, I always talk about don't be afraid of colour. And like, if you are like afraid of using a bit of colourful eyeshadow, try a little bit on the inner corner, try just one colour across the lid, just try it. Like, colourful eyeshadow should not be intimidating or scary. So I love the fact that Mmmmitchell creates these beautiful looks that sometimes are a little bit wacky and just really like just out of the box and cool, and I think that's such an amazing thing to be able to say and do. So yeah, I love Mmmmitchell and I follow and stalk all of his content, so congratulations to Mmmmitchell for this collection. I doubt he's watching this video, but if he is, hello. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of my look down below. I've got to imagine if you actually watch my video, I think I might cry. But anyway, yeah, so as you can tell, I'm just super excited, but this review will not be biased or anything like that, just because I do have a love for Mmmmitchell. I support loads of creators that I love here on the platform, but it doesn't mean that if I have a fault with the palette, I won't report it. So just as an FYI. So onto the palette itself, he brought out 2 palettes. It was the Head in the Clouds palette and the Feet on the Ground. You probably would have thought I would have gone for Head in the Clouds because it's a little bit more like pinky and like it looked warmer toned and just like with a bit more pink in it. But I actually went for the Feet in the Ground palette, which is right here, purely because this is unlike anything else that I have in my collection. Yeah. Like, I can't think of a palette that is completely similar to this, or something that I'm like, oh, I've seen it before. Like, even the shades in this palette are just so unique. Like, there's a shade here called Bittersweet, which is like a pastel lime yellowy colour. This shade here, Chemtrail, like, you look at it alone and you think, oh, okay, that looks like yellow, but if you look at it compared to this shade, which is called Orchid, like, that is a yellow, but this is like different. I don't even know how to explain it. How do you explain it? I don't know. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shimmers in this palette, and the rest are mattes. And I love the fact that it is like an off-white shade, there's a black, there's browns, and the pops of colour. It's just such a cool palette. I have folded it over so I can show you the shades, but hopefully not digging my nail into the palette. Okay, so this is the front of the palette right here. You have the beautiful embossed like army green packaging, which again is just so unique. Like, I am a sucker for pink, fluffy, girly things, but this is just so cool. Like, you can't you can't deny, like, this is really, really cool. And if your name began with an M, I'm sure that you would love this palette. Yeah, so there's a cute little note on the back just inspiring you to keep dreaming, which we all love. There's a good quality sized mirror in the palette, which I won't kind of show you because I will blind you or show you the mess of a desk in front of me. But it's a good hard quality mirror. It doesn't kind of make your face look weird be shaped or anything. So you could take this away with you. It is quite a large palette. I don't personally have an issue with large palettes, but it's just something to bear in mind if you are someone who likes to take your makeup traveling with you. This is the outer box. Now I have it, I can get rid of that. I don't really tend to keep the cardboard packaging, but the palette itself does come with a case to store in. So if you do want to take it traveling, you can pop it in the case and away you go, and then obviously it has a lot of room in here, so you could pop the palette in. I popped it upside down, but that's fine for the purpose of this video. So you've done that. You could pop your blush in. There you go, zip it up, pop it in your bag, and you've got some extra like padded protection right there, which I think is really cool. This is a really unique thing. Like, there's not many brands who have done a case. I do know that Urban Decay used to do their Vice palettes, oh my god, from years ago. I don't remember how long, 2011, I don't know. They used to do their Vice palettes in like these sleeves, and I still have some of them. It would take me ages to root them out because they are at the bottom of like my limited edition palette drawer, and I did do cases for them, but I feel like brands don't do this because obviously it is like an extra add-on to the product and everything, but I do think this is a really good idea, and because Mitchell is a makeup artist, I can understand why he included this in his collection. So I do think this is a really good idea, and it is just like really squishy, so I feel like it will really protect your eyeshadow, and I will be keeping mine in the case. So I've decided to up the ante here on my channel a little bit and just include some more details and things that are helpful and things that I look for when I'm watching like palette reviews and everything, and that's swatches. So swatches for me don't really show the quality of an eyeshadow unless obviously it is an awful swatch. It's more just to see what the actual colours look like on the skin, because sometimes, for example, you can have a shade that looks really bright and it's like neon on the eye, or you can have a shade that looks really shimmery and you put it on and there's like no shimmer and it's just a glitter topper and things like that. So I am going to kind of get out of my face, put my arm on camera, and we're going to do some swatches. So far we've got Salt Bae, Limeade, Bored in the House, Angelina, and Bless You. We have Orchid, Chameleon, Tulip, Ground, and Breaking. We have this beautiful shade right here called Mum's Garden, that's stunning shimmery green. Then you've got Earthchild, Descent, Tiger Lily, and Clay Baby right here. The last row that I have to show you is Ammo, Grass, Ain't, Greener, and then Chemtrail. So there were the swatches. My arm feels very soft from all of the micellar watering. I am just absolutely obsessed with this palette and I really can't contain myself from telling you that, but please stay tuned to see how I created this look right here. I would love to show you. And should we just get into the tutorial? Should we just do it? Okay, let's go. I am so excited to play with this palette. I've just taken it out of the sleeve that it comes with, and now I get to create my look. I'm going to do like a duotone look, so purple's like on the outer corner, green's on the inner corner, and then whatever shimmers I decide to use on the lid. Just because, I mean, it's a Mmmmitchell palette, so I have to be creative, don't I? And of course, like, this palette is so unique. Like, the colour selection is just like really different to anything like I ever have, and I am a massive palette hoarder. Like, I collect eyeshadow palettes, and this is unlike anything I own, so I'm super excited. I'm going to start by taking the shade A Mood, which is this purple right here, this darkest purple in the palette. The palette does come, oh hello. The palette does come with a big mirror, but just because it will be easier to film with a hand mirror, I'm going to use that instead. The brush I'm taking is from the Morphe Madison Beer collection. It's just kind of like a fluffy pencil brush. So I've just worked my brush into the shadow. I've already primed the lid with the P. Louise base, and I'm just going to start, I'm nervous, I don't know why. I'm just going to start by pressing that down onto the outer corner, kind of like put it up towards the tail, but not too high because I want to put a few different colours on. I feel like I wanted to not put tape down, so I haven't put tape down just for this look because I kind of want to blow out like the edges a little bit. I'm just going to take that into the crease. This is super pigmented. This is a pressed pigment palette. This is so exciting. Oh, this purple is so rich and beautiful, and I love a purple shadow.
Turn the lights down low, throw the pillow.
As you can see, I've just kind of just stamped that on the outer end. I'm just going to pull that down. Try not to take it too high, just because I want to put other shades down and we'll run out of room. So I'm taking that kind of halfway across the crease. God, that purple is so rich and beautiful. The next shade that I'm going to take is this one right here called Tulip, which is a beautiful like burgundy pink kind of purpley shade. I think the name's really cool. It's spelled like chew-lip rather than tulip, which I think is cool. And I'm going to take it on a Morphe M546, which is like a skinny blending brush. And I'm going to use that to blend out this dark purple. Just loaded up my brush and I'm just going to start by like pushing that on top of this dark purple. And just start by like winging it out a little bit. I'm just doing like light pushing moments, but that colour is gorgeous. I'm going to buff over that really gently and just kind of stamp that on the outer corner. Buff that in gently. I'm gonna like buff out this outer corner later, so I'm not too worried about it now, but I'm happy with the amount of like space that I still have, because I still want to put a like corally colour just above this shade, so hopefully it will fit. Blending that through. That looks so pretty. Like there's a kind of rosy gold shade in this palette. I feel like that on the lid done like this eye look would be a perfect kind of night out look. Like I love these rich purpley shades, especially like on my green eyes. If you got something on. Okay, I'm actually happy with that. Like these shadows, like I've only used 2 so far, but they're so easy to use. Like they're blending in together so nicely. I'm going to go back into that mood shade, the dark purple, and just while we're here, just add a teeny little bit more just to re-intensify that. Cool. The next shade that I'm going to take is this one right here, which is called Tiger Lily, which is a beautiful coral shade, which I think is a really nice colour to have in this kind of like, when you first look at it you think it's very earth toned, but there's actually quite a few like pinky purple shades. There's like a rose gold shade up here. So yeah, it's a really cool palette, but I'm going to take this coral shade right here called Tiger Lily and I'm going to put that right above this other like pinky purple kind of colour. And I'm taking it on a Morphe M562. These brushes are amazing for like detailed blending. So I've just loaded up my brush. I'm just going to tap off the excess, and then from the outer corner I'm just going to start pushing that into the kind of like edge of this look. It doesn't matter if it goes a little bit messy to start, because I will go back and forth a few times, pressing that in. Very pigmented, like it's almost neon, this shade. Girl, you always tend to drive me crazy. I never do a ponytail for like any of my looks because I always feel like I pose with my hair, but I'm loving being able to like swish today. Just thought I would let you know how I feel about my ponytail. Blending that in. This is kind of overtaken that pink shade because I've like blended too much. This is super pigmented. Like I keep forgetting this is a pressed pigment palette, so I know it was going to be pigmented, but like wow, oh my god. Okay, while I am here I'm just going to go back through the colours one more time just before I turn the whole eye red. So I'm going back in with that a mood shade, and I'm just going to re-intensify the deepest part of this look so far. Baby, I still wear the shirt. And then I'm going back in with that tulip shade just in the middle to bring that back out. I feel like the Tiger Lily and the tulip shade together have kind of created this like, I don't know, like really dark colour. Sometimes when I do makeup I forget like the concept of a colour wheel. It's fine, we're going to work with it. So I'm just going to use little blending motions to kind of merge these two shades together, the tulip and the Tiger Lily. We will be cutting the crease anyway, but I just don't like how contrasty this is at the moment. Okay, we're getting somewhere, just kind of takes some time. I'm going to take the brush that had the Tiger Lily shade on without any extra product and just continue the blend a little. Okay, there we go. There we go. At first I was a bit like, oh, I've ruined the whole look, but it's fine. Like I always say, progress is key. Got something on your mind. Okay, I'm happy with that so far. Next up, I'm going to do the inner corner blending now. So I'm going to take the shade Ammo, which has 4 M's, which is this black shade right here. It kind of looks No, it's just black. So I'm going to take this shade right here to pop on the inner corner. Now, I'm not going to pop on a lot of this. I say that now, hopefully I don't. But this is a really small shader brush from Morphe, just so I can be like really selective with the colour. I just want to pop it on, just kind of on the edge of where I would cut the crease, just so that area is really deep. I haven't actually used a black shadow in such a long time. I'm just going with the shadow. This is one of the ones that has the M indented into the shadow. Just tapped off the excess. And I'm not gonna extend my like inner corner this time. Push that in, right, just kind of where I would cut the crease, I guess. So just above there and doing a little wiggling motions. And I'm gonna try to keep this very selective because I don't want to take the black too high. Still quite a few colours I want to fit on my lid space. Pressing that into the lid and bringing that in, and then it will kind of like touch the dark shade. This kind of middle section is going to be quite difficult to blend because we've got red and then green together, so naturally it'll probably go a little bit muddy, but I'm just going to keep going with it and just see what happens. I'm just having some fun with makeup, trying out the shadows. So far no complaints, apart from, I mean, it's not a complaint, but the Tiger Lily shade, it is almost like neon, that it kind of looks a little bit red to me. I don't know, but now that I've used it, I kind of know what to expect. I think that is the case with a lot of like really intense palettes. Sometimes it's just good to play around with them first so you know what you're expecting when you actually go to do your makeup for like going out and stuff. It's just very, very neon, that shade to me. Okay, I'm happy with that kind of shape. So I basically just popped that in like kind of where I would cut my crease anyway, so just in that kind of like circular shape on the inner portion of the socket. The best thing about this palette, right, is I knew that I wanted to do like green on the inner corner and then like purple on the outer corner, but I changed my mind so many times of which colours I want to use, because originally I was like, okay, I need to use this bright like neon yellow shade called Chemtrail, but this shade here is really cool. It's called Bittersweet. It's like a, I don't know, like a mint lime kind of colour. I'm really bad at describing colours for someone in makeup, but yeah, I feel like I need to take this shade. So the next shade that I'm going to take is the shade, yeah, no, it's not called yet. I've just decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the shade Greener next, which is this kind of like muddy green shade right here, and I'm taking that on a skinny blending brush from Eyeshadow. The Eyeshadow brushes are always linked down below or at the bottom of my description box. So I'm just going into that shade there, tapping off the excess, and then just going to start pushing that on top. And I'm a little bit concerned about what it's going to look like in the middle, but we'll make it work. Oh, this colour's really nice. It's like a khaki army green, kind of like inspired by the palette, I guess. Just tickling, blending that in here. Okay, that's actually quite cool in the inner corner. It looks crazy now, but I feel like it's going to look wicked once I've done the whole eye look. Okay, so I'm just going to blend that into the inner corner and blend that into the other shade. It's kind of gone brown as I expected, but it actually looks like just mad and really cool with all of the different colour tones going on. I definitely need to do a little bit more blending work just here, but I will get to that. Okay, I really like how this has turned out. I'm just going to add in a little bit more of that ammo. Oh my god, I'm so freaking clumsy. I just got khaki shadow on my top. Okay, it will come out, you can't see it. Just gonna add a little bit more of the black. Back in over the top of that with the khaki kind of muddy green shade. And then next I'm gonna take the shade Ain't. You can tell it was made by a British person because it says ain't in it and it's such like an English word. But I'm gonna take Ain't, which is this kind of true green, I would describe this as, which is right here where my pointer finger is pointing to, and I'm taking that on a Morphe M433, which is another kind of skinny blending brush. Just tapped off the excess a couple times, and I'm just gonna again layer this on top of that khaki green. I'm not bringing it like all the way across because I've kind of taken the pink quite far, and I feel like if I go over it, it will ruin the whole vibe. So I'm only gonna take it like on this very small inner portion right here. This is looking really cool so far. I'm actually really happy with this. Okay, happy with that. Then I'm going to take the shade Bittersweet, which is this one right here. I don't know if you can see that like that well. It's a really cool like soft lime colour. I don't know, it's just a really unique shade. So I'm going to take that one right here to blend out the furthest part of the inner corner. And I'm taking that on a Morphe M562, just another one that I have to hand. This one's a little bit more powdery than the others, but I think it's just because it's such a pale shade, and I do find pastels to be a little bit more powdery. But that's fine. It's not going to ruin the look or anything. It's just a little thing to note. Okay, yeah, that's definitely like added this touch that I need on the inner corner just to really soften those edges up. Before I cut the crease and go on to like the lid section, I am so happy with this. I'm just going to go back through the colours a few more times just to kind of re-intensify and build. So I'm going to go straight in with that darkest purple, the first shade that we use, which is called A Mood. And I'm just going to deepen up this outer corner a little bit, touch that up just a little bit.
If you got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you.
I've had a revision. I'm just going to take, not a whole revision, I'm just going to take the shade Salt Bay, which is like an off-white shade right at the top of the palette. And I've just realised the inner corner is really nice and like smoothly blended. So I'm going to do the same on the outer corner. I'm just taking this really tiny detailed brush from the Morphe Madison Beer collection. And I'm just going to like smudge this at the top of the eye look just to diffuse the edges a little bit more. I'm literally just smudging that right at the top. Yeah, that's just added like a little blend right at the top to kind of perfect the edges. It has picked up like the pink, so I'll just wipe that on the back of my hand before I do the other eye. I'm just going to take a cotton bud and some micellar water that I've just put into this bottle. Just loading up the cotton bud, taking off the excess on the back of my hand so it's not like dripping everywhere. And then I'm going to cut the crease. I'm not going to take it all the way across because of this dark purple edge. I'm just going to take it kind of like nearly to the edge. And then I'm just going to put on my P. Louise base in that section that I have just created with a flat concealer brush. This is probably my favourite part of doing like an eye makeup look, is doing the shimmer on the lid, because I feel like it really brings the whole look together. I'm going to take the shade Limeade, which is a sparkly lime colour right here. It's really beautiful. And I'm going to pop that in the inner corner of the lid. I'm just going to spritz this shader brush, which is the BH Cosmetics No. 9 brush with the Urban Decay setting spray. Any setting spray will do. And I'm just going to press this. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my god, wow, that's stunning. Yes, Mmmmitchell. Did I do too many M's? Did I do the right amount of M's? Okay, that is so stunning. This would look really cool as an inner corner highlight. Turn the lights down low, throw the pillows off the bed. I'm glad I put that black right here because I feel like it's just added the perfect amount of depth on that inner corner. Yeah, that is such a cool shade. Then I'm going to take a MAC 242 brush, which is a flat shader brush. I'm going to take the shade Mama's Garden, which is a beautiful shimmery green shade right here. It's quite a bright colour. I'm going to pop that in the middle of the lid. Okay, I'm just going to pop that right down at the centre of the lid. Ooh! That's pretty. Just gonna work that into the Limeade shade as well. Trying to be careful on the edge of this. I'ma try to help you let it go. This is so glittery and beautiful. Like, this is a stunning shimmery green. I try to help you let it go. So sparkly and gorgeous. That green would be ideal for like a shimmery green Christmas look. Okay, I'm now going to take this other flat shader brush from Morphe. I think this is from their Pride collection. Spritzing that again. Then for the last kind of shimmer on the outer part of the lid, I'm going to take the shade Grass, which is a deeper, like olivey shimmer, I think I would describe that as. It's really beautiful, perfect for a smoky eye actually. And I am going to pop that on the kind of outer section where it doesn't have any product. I'm just going to press that Oh my god, wow, these shimmers are no joke. Overlapping that with that middle bright green. Oh my god, this look is so cool. Obsessed. I'm actually so happy with this look. I just think it's wicked. I'm just gonna take this little shade. Oh wow. I'm just gonna take this little shader brush from the Madison Beer Morphe collection. It's kind of like pointed, but any brush to be honest will do. And I'm just gonna take that shade A Mood, load it up, that dark purple, and just push this on top of the outer edge. It obviously won't blend completely because it's like a dark purple going into a shimmery green, but I'm just tapping off the edge area just so it kind of diffuses into it. Yeah, let's add like a little bit of diffusion. I've already got some primer on my lower lash line. I don't want to put the black right here, I feel like it will be too dark, but I'm going to pop the dark kind of green shade called Greener on the same brush as before and just start by kind of pressing that into like the outer inner corner, sorry, the inner corner, lower lash line. And then taking A Mood, that darkest purple, just so it matches that outer edge, I'm just going to blend that in and pull that all the way in to about halfway where it touches the green. It's a bit of glitter kind of going everywhere from that Mama's Garden shade, but that is fine. I'm just going to blend a little bit of Tulip just underneath the eye. And then right for the inner corner, I'm going to take this beautiful shade called Bless You, which is like a shimmery champagne colour right here, which I think is kind of like an important shade to have in a palette. It's like the perfect inner corner highlight. And I'm just taking that on a pencil brush. Popping that on the inner corner. Boom. Almost like a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. Well, a purple and green rainbow. I'm obsessed, like I'm so happy with this look. Okay, so moving away from the shadow, goodbye, feet on the ground for a temporary moment. I'm going to take some liner. I'm taking the Huda Beauty Life Liner. This is a very like wet liner, but it's so dark. I'm going to take the liquid liner side right here and just draw a line across. I'm not going to do a wing just because I really like this kind of like smoky outer corner, so wish me luck. This is not like the easiest liner to use in the world, it's just like so good because it's so intense. So I'm just going to pop this on. Try to help you let it go. Oh god, I've taken it a little bit too thick on that inner corner. Oh no. Help you let it go. I'm just going to let that dry for a moment. I'm now going to pop the pencil liner just in the waterline, the lower and then the upper waterline. I'm working that into the lashes as well, just so like there's no kind of bald spots. I'm actually so happy with this look, like I'm buzzing. Can you tell? I'm actually really tired, struggling with sleep at the moment. If anyone has any tips, let me know. I've tried pillow sprays, music, I'm just struggling. So I'm just gonna give my lashes a little curl. These lash curlers are just from Shein. And then pop on some of the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes Mascara. I'm taking the curl and length side today, which is like the rounded brush, because the volume one like gives so much volume, and I'm gonna be putting on falsies anyway. Music on, turn the lights down low, throw the pillows off the bed. Now it's super exciting. So my lovely friend Sarah here on YouTube, she is an Irish YouTuber who I've been friends with for many years now, and I'm super proud of her. She has come out with her own lash line and I'm so excited. Sarah, congratulations. These lashes are absolutely beautiful. Definitely go and check them out down below and support her new business. These are in the style Lambo. They're like my favourite type of lash, where they're quite long and they're bigger on the outer corner. I just find it personally more flattering for my eye shape and just the kind of style of makeup that I like to wear, but they are absolutely gorgeous. These are 3D faux mink lashes. She has given me a discount code, which is shivonmakeupbiz, which gets you 10% off her website. I will have them linked down below. Again, I'm super proud of her, and I just feel like if you want to do a dream, and I think well done. well done. They are absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, pop these on off camera, do the other eye, and we'll be right back. Okay, I am back with the lashes on and I'm obsessed. They're so fluffy and gorgeous and I feel like they've complemented the look really beautifully. So definitely go ahead and check out Sarah's lashes. I'll link them down below. Moving on to the skin, I'm going to take the MUA Pro Base Oil Free Primer and just massage this into my face. My skin has been like breaking out massively. I think it's just like I'm a little bit under the weather, just like lack of sleep and everything, and it's really playing with my skin. So I'm gonna go quite full coverage today. When do I ever go light coverage? But you know what I mean. Just to let you know, I have just done a 5-hour shift from home and eaten dinner, so at least the eye makeup lasts. So I'm going to move on to foundation now, and I am taking the Maybelline Superstay foundation in the shade Warm Sun, and I'm just going to blend this into the skin using a Spicy Choco Egg Blend sponge, which is this very unique shape. So I'm just going to blend this into the skin. Very warm foundation, as you can see, but I will like conceal and highlight and everything like that. And I'm aware I've got some huge spots on my chin area, but like I mentioned, I've just been kind of like run down, like not looking after myself lately. My skin has kind of taken a toll. I've also stopped using a retinol product, which I was using before. I just completely ran out of it, and since then I've noticed my skin has like gone back to how it used to be. So I definitely think I will be changing my skincare routine soon. I'm going to be trying out some new skincare products soon anyway, so once I've used those then I can get back on my retinol and sort my skin out.
Put your body on the kitchen table.
It's very orange, isn't it? I haven't used this foundation in so long and I forgot how orange this shade is. But this foundation itself is amazing, just definitely too warm of a shade. Now I'm going to pop some concealer on, and this is probably where we'll just get rid of the orangeness. So I'm going to take the XX Revolution CX 5.5 concealer. I do love this concealer formula, however the tube, like, it's too tight, so when you put it out you end up splattering product, so just be careful with that. Kind of have to hold it down so it doesn't splatter everywhere, just something to note. And I'm going to pop this in my usual areas, so on the chin, forehead, under the eyes. Then I'm going to blend it out with the same sponge.
Baby, I still wear the shirt you gave me, 'cause it reminds me of.
Now I'm going to cream contour with the Peaches and Cream Contour. I've used this a few times now and I actually really like it. It has a little bit of like a red undertone to it, I think, which I actually really like in a contour product. So I'm going to pop this just kind of like along the cheekbones and around the top of my forehead, under the jaw, down the nose, just to add some warmth to the skin, like add some kind of shape and depth. And I'm going to pop it on using this foundation brush from Eco and blend it out with my Smashbox Cream Cheek Brush.
So, you got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you let it go. Try to help you let it go.
Now I'm trying out the blush, which is in the shade Mango Daiquiri. These really excited me. I was going to pick up a couple colours, but I did have to resist myself because I've just been so spendy recently, and Mmmmitchell's collection isn't exactly the cheapest collection in the world. Not a bad thing at all. I can definitely kind of see the target audience he had in mind, so hats off to him. That's absolutely fine. Just means I couldn't buy loads of them and kind of had to pick one colour really. I chose Mango Daiquiri just because it's something that I don't really have already. And this is like a coral, oh my god, it's like a super orange shade. Like, how cool is that? To be honest, in my head it was more coral. I hadn't actually opened it from the box yet, but I think this is still going to work. So I am going to pop this onto the cheeks and then I'm going to blend it out with this Peaches Makeup PC16 brush, just kind of like dabbing onto the cheeks. I'm excited. Let's go. I'm gonna do like, oh, that one's a bit lower. Whoops. Okay, let's see how that takes us. I'm just going to use this Peaches makeup brush. I actually feel like I could have got away with more product.
Put your body on the kitchen.
Okay, so you can actually kind of swirl. I started dabbing at first, but swirling works as well. I guess it depends on what kind of foundation you have underneath. Okay, I'm actually gonna pop on some more. Just right here.
Put some music on, turn the
That's so cool. I don't know if this is like the best blush shade for me. I think I probably would go for a pink one on a daily basis, but for dramatic kind of editorial creative makeup looks such as the one that I have on my face right now, this does kind of work. But the formula is amazing. Like I'm not having any like separation from like my foundation or anything like that. I've used swirling motions and like patting motions. Goes on the skin really nicely and smoothly. So big thumbs up from me. I think when I get paid I might purchase like one of the pinky shades. So yeah, I really like this. I'm not going to bake, but I'm going to set this whole face into place with the Laura Mercier translucent powder and a big fluffy brush. I'm now going to powder contour with the Bella Pierre contour and highlight palette, and I'm taking this shade right here, which I believe is called Brulee, and I'm just going to pop that on the same place I put the cream contour. I'm taking a BH Cosmetics number 3 brush.
Turn the lights down low, throw the pillows off the bed, blow the candles out, move your body slow.
Then I'm just going to use the vanilla shade, which is the pinky one right here, to highlight under the eyes and a little bit in the centre of the forehead. And the brush I'm using for this, by the way, is the Morphe M448. Not that I really need it because I'm very orange, especially with the blush, but it will come together. I'm going to bronze. I'm taking the Peaches and Cream bronzing powder in the shade medium to dark on my Morphe M401 brush. I'm just going to bronze pretty much my whole face. Now I'm going to set this into place using the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Now I'm going to highlight. I'm going to take an Insane highlighter. This is the Doll Beauty Like a Diamonds highlighter. I'm just going to spritz my highlighting brush a little bit of setting spray, just because I want this to be super intense to go with the intense vibe. And I'm just going to load that up onto my cheekbone. Bit of it on my nose, down the bridge of my nose. To be honest, this highlight's actually a bit too light when I have such a like orangey tan, but it's fine, it goes with the vibe. I'm just going to pop some mascara on my lower lashes. I'm going to take the curl and length side just because it's the skinnier brush on my lower lashes. For lips, I'm going to take Huda Beauty's Savage liquid lipstick, which is like a dark, it looks like a darker nude to me, and then I'm going to take it with Maxwell lip liner. Keep messing up my words today, like so much.
And move the dishes to the side. Yeah. Girl, you always tend to drive me.
To finish off the look, I'm going to take the Huda Beauty Savage liquid lipstick.
Those eyes, put some music on, turn the lights down low, throw the
That's a really, really beautiful, beautiful colour. My lips are a little bit dry, but it's fine. I am like literally obsessed with this whole look, and I feel like the lip kind of ties into like the purpley bits. Okay, I'm obviously not going to floof my hair because there's no hair down to floof, but let's just play with these bangs a little bit. I only had them put in like a month, I think, ago. And no, 2 months ago. And I still have it like kind of... Do I just let them do their thing? Is that what you do? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like the Instagram boss babes, they just kind of pose with them and they look cool, but I feel like I look odd. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I probably could curl them, but to be honest, I can't be bothered. It's 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, this is the finished makeup look. I'm just gonna let the liquid lipstick dry and then knock off the mascara, and I'll come back to kind of give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is the finished makeup look, which I am absolutely like obsessed with, and I didn't even realise that this lipstick would like tie in so nicely to that purple. I'm excited. I don't really know how I'm going to pose in the photo because I'm so used to posing like with my hair as an accessory, but I am so happy with this makeup look. And yeah, okay, so let's talk about the palette. Obviously I love it, kind of goes without saying. The packaging is just absolutely absolutely beautiful, and like the embossed and just all of the details on it are really cool. And this is definitely not like anything I own at all, which is like a big claim considering I hoard palettes like no other. So the palette is absolutely beautiful, it's such good quality, and I think if you are like a makeup lover or a makeup artist, you would love this palette, purely because I do just think this is such a unique looking palette in like my opinion. Tones wise, the only thing I can think of that it reminds me of is maybe the Subculture palette from Anastasia. I'm gonna get that out. Palette that was quite controversial and received a lot of backlash, and you don't really see anyone kind of use it nowadays. I've actually used my Subculture palette quite a lot, you know. I'm trying to hold it without like digging my nails into the palette. So this is the Mmmmitchell Feet on the Ground palette, and then this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. So you can kind of see what I mean in like tones. Like it's not the same palette, it's not the same formula, the shimmers are different, the mattes are different, but just like a very similar, like for me anyway, like tone ideas. So you've got like the cool tones, the greens, the browns, the kind of mustard shades, like a coral, a lime green. So that kind of, for me, is quite similar, which I doubt he took inspo from, I have no idea, but if he did, I feel like that's quite a bold move, because I know that this palette in particular received quite a lot of backlash just because it had loads of fallout and everything like that. I actually like this palette, if I remember rightly. Back to the actual palette itself, I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm obsessed with like the colour story and like scheme kind of in this, and I just feel like you can do so much with it, even though it's kind of like a theme, because for example, as you first look at it, you kind of do see a lot of green, but if you really look, there's quite a lot of neutral shades. So you've kind of got these up here, these like earthy tones, and then you have like this colour called Fool's Gold, which is like a cut off there. I was talking about this shade here called Fool's Gold, which is like an olivey kind of bronze shade, and then you have some really fun pops of colour. So you have this bright coral shade, which I used up here. You have bright yellow, this kind of beautiful like pastel lime colour, then this colour called Chemtrail, which is quite cool. They're both yellows, but this one's like bright yellow, this one's like a neon-y yellow. I don't know how to describe it, it's just different, like it's really cool. And then the shimmers performed absolutely beautifully. Like you could do so much with this palette. You could even just do like a night out look with these kind of shades up here. I think this is just gorgeous, and if you are a makeup lover, like you need this palette. It's definitely worth it, and I didn't have any trouble with the colours. The only thing I wasn't expecting is this one to be so neon, so just go in with a light hand. That's my new tip. But I mean, once you kind of understand that they are all pigments and kind of get that around in your head, and a little goes a long way, then you can definitely do like so many different looks with this palette, and I'm just absolutely obsessed, like so happy with this. So yeah, absolutely massive thumbs up from me. In terms of the blush, I love this. I think it went into the skin really nicely. I do have a very bronzed face today. I mean, I'm fake tanned and everything. It does match my neck, but this foundation is just very orange, so I feel like this will look really nice when I've got more of a paler skin, when I'm not as tanned, as like freshly fake tanned, and I'm just kind of like my usual skin colour. If I pop this on, I think this could look really cute with like faux freckles, but I really want to try the pink one. I think this is really lovely. As you can tell, I'm absolutely thrilled with this collection, and I think Mmmmitchell has done a great job, and I just think for such a young age and just in the beauty industry and just like taking it by storm is amazing. Absolute commendment. So yeah, I just am actually just so happy with this palette, and I feel like I want to play with it even more. Let me know as always if there are other looks that you want me to do doing this palette. I tend to do a lot of palette reviews here on my channel, so sometimes it's nice to kind of just play with makeup. So do let me know if you want me to go back to the palette, take it back to the drawing board I guess, and have another play and see what I come up with. Let me know. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell to be alerted when I upload a new video. I would really appreciate it. Also follow me on my social media channels. I'm shivonmakeupbiz on everything. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook and Twitter is where it's at. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I shall see you next time. Bye!